Good evening to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to the April Fool's edition of the News at 9. I'm Aaron Nolan.
And I'm Melanie Chapman. Up first tonight, we have the 9 things you need to know before you go to bed. The family of the man killed in Branson can sleep tonight knowing the accused killer has been charged with murder.
The Taney County prosecutor charged Sean D. Roberson with first-degree murder and resisting arrest today. Police believe Roberson strangled 18-year-old Andros Valentin Vargas.
And that's on top of assault, armed criminal action, and burglary charges. Kevin Schwaller spoke with the brother of the victim. And of course, Kevin, the family wishes this all could have been prevented.
He was my little brother, so never saw the man. I just saw a kid.
Ivan Valentine is preparing to bury his brother after escaping a situation with his own life.
This is his necklace.
That's it?
Yeah, he got this cross when he was baptized in the Church of Puerto Rico.
Investigators believe Valentine came home and found Sean Roberson inside with a knife.
I was lucky to get out of there alive.
Police believe Roberson chased Valentine and even threw a knife at him.
The way I think he was expecting it to go was me finding my brother's body in the bathroom, because my room is the one in the back. So as soon as I was in there was no escaping.
Assistant Police Chief in Branson, Stanley Dobbins, says the violence appears to be centered around Roberson's ex-girlfriend and their child. That ex-girlfriend is now Ivan Valentine's current girlfriend.
I believe there may have been an ongoing feud between Mr. Roberson and family members of the deceased, as well as his brother.
Roberson made threats
that he was going to kill me and her family and everyone around.
And this isn't Roberson's first run-in with the law. Valentine says there was an incident in Springfield before the homicide. Color 10 could not independently verify this case. However, city spokesperson Cora Scott confirms Roberson did spend time in the Greene County Jail last week on an unrelated charge.
Yeah, he should have been stopped. He should have.
Roberson got out of prison in February on parole.
I actually went heart to him and said, hey, I'm not going to be the person to tell you you're not going to ever change. And I'm the person that's probably the most disappointed to have said those words.
Now Valentine is left remembering his brother.
Right. Kevin Schwaller joining us now at the desk.
And Kevin, Roberson had served time, as you mentioned, in your story and was released in February. What was he serving time for?
It was for burglary. He pleaded guilty to a burglary charge last year. That was in Douglas County. Now, the prosecuting attorney there in that county, I spoke with him over the phone. He says he was really trying to get Roberson incarcerated for this. Of course, he ended up getting let out on parole. He said it wasn't your typical burglary. We weren't able to get all the documents to kind of look into exactly what he meant by that. But he said he was really pushing to make sure that he wasn't out there on the streets. And of course, this did happen just on Friday.
All right, Kevin Schwaller, thank you so much for that story.
Time now to look to the skies, and Melanie, it was a relatively nice day today.
It was, but that all changed when the sun went down. It got rather chilly.
It got chilly, and today was a lot colder than this past weekend. Over the weekend we saw highs well into the 60s. Today we didn't make it out of the 50s. In fact, a high of only 53 in Springfield after 66 yesterday. Wow. So, yeah, folks noticing the change in the temperature. At least it was pretty for most of the day with mostly sunny skies, but long about 4 o'clock, the clouds rolled in, they thickened up, and areas to the south actually have picked up some rainfall. Here's a look at radar right now, and you can see shower activity sort of scattered across the area. Most of it has been along and south of I-44. The heaviest of it has been tracking south of Highway 60, and what's left of that initial round of heavier rain is now moving into western Fulton County, right around the Viola area, and that activity is weakening. More showers, though, redeveloping back to the west across southwest Missouri into southeastern Kansas. That will tend to impact the same areas that have already seen rain this evening, and in some spots we've seen some healthy rains, about 1/3 of an inch south of Neosho. Cassville maybe close to 1/10 of an inch, but some heavier rains to your south. Also, you can see down through Carroll County into areas north of Harrison, looks like about 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch. Most areas, though, north of Highway 60 haven't seen anything. What we have seen, though, are chilly readings out there, currently in the 40s area wide, 43 right now in Springfield, and we will cool into the 30s overnight tonight, and it looks like we'll continue to find rounds of showers, mainly impacting areas along and south of Highway 60, and we'll throw in that chance for maybe a wet snowflake here and there, at least along the northern edge of that rainfall, but most areas won't see that. And then tomorrow it looks like we'll stay chilly. You thought today was cool, tomorrow looks like highs only in the mid-40s.
All right, Jamie, thank you so much. Across Missouri, counties are calling folks to the polls. The big issues in Greene County are a Springfield public school bond and levy, a Springfield city sales tax proposal, and 2 city council seats in Lawrence County. A special election going to be held to fill the vacant state representative seat for District 157. This vacancy created by the resignation of Representative Don Ruzicka. Democrat Charles Dake and Republican Mike Moon are the candidates. Arkansas voters will now be required to show ID at the polls. Today, the House of Representatives voted to override Governor Beebe's veto of the voter ID bill. The Senate has already overridden that veto. Governor Beebe says the reason he vetoed the bill is because it would increase cost and make some people less likely to vote.
For anyone that is driving, be sure to buckle up this month. The Missouri State Highway Patrol's Click It or Ticket campaign lasts all month long. The goal is to raise awareness about how seatbelts save lives. The Highway Patrol says 1 in every 4 people in Missouri still does not wear a seatbelt, and last year 64% of those killed in traffic crashes were not wearing seatbelts. Cattle thieves have struck again. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office says 5 newborn calves and 5 adult cows were taken early Friday morning near Stott City. Cattle rustling has been a big problem in Lawrence County recently. Ranchers even got together recently to discuss ways to combat the issue. Meantime, 2 men are now charged in a cattle theft in Dane County. That was all caught on tape. Dane County investigators say 30-year-old Eric O'Connell of Iberia and 25-year-old Manu Teo of Waynesville are facing 7 felonies, including burglary and stealing livestock. We showed you this video last week at the Salem Livestock Auction. Sometime overnight, 2 men got into the barn and managed to take 5 cows. Detectives say they would have gotten even more, but the other cows escaped. People in the area saw this video and recognized one of the suspects.
2 Missouri murder suspects sit in jail after a day-long manhunt. The men were arrested today in Macon. Investigators believe the men shot 2 people in Randolph County, killing a 92-year-old man. They are also suspected of stealing and abandoning several cars. Well, when you think of gangs, you might think of groups of guys wearing bandanas, baggy clothes, or lots of tattoos and piercings.
But the street gang is evolving, and police say you need to know what to look out for. Our Melissa Stern is here to tell us about the changes. Melissa.
The Task Force on Gangs and Youth Violence hosted a presentation this evening at Central High School. The purpose of it is to help community members learn what local street gangs look like in today's local culture, along with tips to keep you, your family, and your community safe.
I thought we was in a pretty peaceful city.
Mr. and Mrs. Shepard came to hear the presentation on the evolution of the street gang for one reason.
So that we can recognize any gangs that might be in our neighborhood or anything going on we might see. We could be better informed to tell the police department.
David Starbuck gave the presentation. He says community awareness is key to responding to a gang problem.
A lot of people that haven't been around the gang culture, they derive too much of their impressions of what a gang member might look like from what they see on television or in the movies.
So which one of these people do you think is a gang member? Trick question. They both are.
A lot of them dress and appear quite generic. It's their mentality and their actions that are more alarming.
Starbuck says he often refers to them as hybrid gangs.
They're very diverse.
They're blending in more.
And although the gangs in the Ozarks might not be quite like the ones in Chicago or LA,
they can be just as notorious and just as problematic.
I don't actually feel threatened, but I don't want to, and that's why I'm here.
For more information regarding Neighborhood Watch and practical ideas to keep your neighborhood safe, please visit our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Melissa, thank you so much. Efforts continue today to clean up thousands of barrels of heavy crude oil spilled from a pipeline in the natural state.
A spill was discovered a few days ago in Mayflower, Arkansas. The pipeline ruptured in a housing development.
It remains shut down, and Exxon isn't sure just when it's going to be fixed and restarted. 22 homes were evacuated after the spill poured oil into lawns and down streets.
The company says at least 12,000 barrels of oil and water have been recovered. The pipeline was installed in the 1940s. Okay. Those pictures are very disturbing.
Yeah, and you see a lot of the wildlife that also was affected. A lot of ducks in that area had quite a bit of oil on them. The cleanup continues there in Arkansas.
And it will take some time.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of time, it is time for your voice to be heard. Every night we ask a question on our Facebook page, and we give you, the Ozarks, a chance to sound off.
Yep, and today it's all about April Fool's Day.
I've been waiting for this. I'm just waiting for him to prank somebody.
We're going to show some video a little bit later in the show.
Boy.
of something that I tried to pull off in the newsroom. So we want to know, did you get pranked? Everybody had to, right?
I don't know. Some people are better than others, I guess, huh?
To get involved in the conversation, like the Color 10 and KOZL Facebook page, leave your comment on our Ozark Sound Off question of the night. We're going to read some of your April Fool's stories a little bit later in the show.
Also, check out our social media outlets. We're always looking for ways to get our viewers involved. So please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, email us, or send us any story ideas, any comments you may have.
If you ever wondered how much taller Melanie is truly than I, this is about right.
Well, it has something to do with the heels. But I like you like that. Good boy.
I don't know if I like this anymore.
I like it.
I know. An accident from March Madness, and a controversial singer is finally talking about his infamous assault case.
Find out what happened and more
This is
coming up
weird
in
for
the
you,
trends. No, it's actually, it's very
like it?
natural.
What?
Maybe stay down your level. Sunny skies were across the Ozarks today.